around. I got this year, since that drama, the police took my devices, they took everything. So they only brought them back recently.
Oh, was the YNZ drama in the country? That drama was even trending in America.
At least Mina now, we are known overseas. We are born.
Oh, at least.
Exactly.
Image. Matthew, I'm probably. Woo! Where do I start? Hold on. Image. Well, why was your lawyer holding your head like that, Nyajola?
But I get these questions, guys. Now I ask him the very same question.
But I mean, I've never seen anyone asking you the question, so me, I'm gonna ask. Why was he holding your head like that during the court proceedings?
But I don't know. And then people are like, now we know how you pay for your legal fees.
I was thinking the same thing. I thought you paid for your fees, Gamurao.
Back
door. Otherwise, how are things? Are you back? What's going on? Tell me. I want to hear.
No, right now I'm back. So the case has been concluded. So they declined to prosecute because of lack of evidence. So we are back. Right now it's just.
What do they mean lack of evidence? But we saw you more saying to someone, TP, what's in there wrong or wasn't there wrong or Sagbona song or wasn't there wrong? What do you mean there's no evidence?
You know how this thing, like these departments, they pop-out, you understand? So the problem with them is that when they handle this matter from the get-go, they didn't come to me or my attorneys to actually say, okay, guys, these are the allegations, what's actually happening, you understand? What's both sides. They decided to run with what the media and social media was saying and those videos in everything. But yet, behind the scenes, there were actually facts and things that when you look at it with our evidence, all of those videos then come to make sense, we understand. For example, this thing of me making content at the hospital, right? And Bona, they were like, no, he was going there to pretend to be a doctor, whatnot. So then when the police did the investigation, we then showed them, okay, number one, we have at the time, I was working for an NGO, Greater Than AIDS Africa, which got funding from this department, and we would basically track HIV positive patients that have defaulted, and some of them would have to take them to hospital. So when we then took them to hospital, I will then curate content, because my content was HIV and AIDS, explaining this patient's dilemma. For example, you'll find a patient, they stopped their ARV treatment 3 years ago, they decided to use Muti, Manje, Bayagula, we understand. And then I would then explain that. So when they actually saw and like Lomonte wasn't curating content because they went to this hospital to impersonate, but actually for this, that's when they started saying hi man, there are holes to this whole entire thing.
I hear that element. Manje, NGO, ne stethoscope.
Okay, so the stethoscope, so our NGO, right, we have nurses, and at the NGO, I was employed as an advanced HIV and AIDS clinician, right? So with our nurses within the NGO, we do work with stethoscopes because some patients would have opportunistic infections like TB, pneumonia. So then that's where the stethoscopes will then come in. We understand. So yeah.
But then isn't a stethoscope reserved for nurses and doctors and practitioners who know how? So if you if the questions get annoying, please tell me. I'm just curious because I've always wanted to.
It's okay.
So if you have a stethoscope on you, it implies that you know how to read and understand someone's breathing and check for blockages and stuff like that. So where did you get to that point of studying to be able to carry a stethoscope?
Okay, so when I did, so in 2021, right? So I dropped out of school. I did 2021 as an HIV and AIDS counselor. And then I did professional development where I then got advanced training within the HIV and AIDS field, right? So I did that for about 3 years. The training that I did was for about 3 years. Then I became an HIV and AIDS clinician. So when we then use the stethoscope in that environment, it would be for those patients in the defaulting program where we check for opportunistic infections. Some of them will come with breathing and everything. So then we would then assess them and then we would refer them. So that is where then the stethoscope will then come in. And remember that also our NGO has nurses as well. So also the nurses will then use it. So as an HIV and AIDS clinician, it's not that I'm like on the same level with the nurses. No. I would then, it's not the same level because it's
So which means you are not a doctor?
Yes, no, the Dr. Matthew was literally a pseudonym that started in 2021 when I started.
How strong was his pseudonym? But you were when you were a doctor. When did it become? How, Matthew?
It actually, to be honest, when it started as that. But then when the popularity kind of like, that addiction you get from that attention of social media and everything, the clarity part of it just became something that I just, like.
So I'm guessing what you're saying is at some point you got addicted to this image and you wanted to uphold it because it gave you the reaction that you wanted.
Exactly, 100%.
Image, moving on from the doctor thing we've established, manje barcode medication. Mix the number. You're not even trying to mix the numbers. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So with that one, and funny enough, I only saw that when the training started, and I also laughed at myself. So how that started, guys? So when we started my business, and doing stickers are very expensive, getting the designs and everything. So I went, that app Canva where you can, so I went to Canva, I created, and by Canva you just write barcode and then it gives you that. And then now I just did paste. I did not even notice that this thing is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I was like thinking, Bona, and then only when I started training did I see that barcode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I was like, yo, Matthew.
But do you know how that one thing dismantled your entire persona? Because Tina Skwaze, you finished school early. So for someone who finished school early, went and studied it, you can't make such a mistake because for us, you are smarter than the rest of us. That's why you finished school early. So, Wabo?
Like with that, I remember when I started that business, because people thought they thought I was making these products in my kitchen. Then they reported it to the South African Health Products Regulatory Authority, and then they called, they looked, and they then gave me the advice to say, what, we see the picture, but you are doing things very incorrectly, because even a simple thing as a barcode, there are guidelines behind it. So instead, let your manufacturer do everything for you. When I just get the end product. Because if you're gonna do things for yourself, yes, you wanna save cost, but it's gonna cost you at the end of the day, So we then started changing the barcodes, the products. So Shemnet 1, 2, 3 was in the humble beginnings of our product, Shem.
So are you back to selling the product again?
So this year, no, because Shem, I don't want to lie, that drama did really affect the business greatly. And also the fact that when the drama started, we were introducing a new product. So it left me in so much debt with the manufacturer that I had to sell my car, I had to sell my apartment to pay off those debts that I had, occurred. So next year, I want to then rebrand and basically, start the business again. But this time, be more transparent with the people,
But you can't say you're transparent if you're still using Togotela in your handle, say.
Certain people are like, oh my God, why don't you use that? Why don't you remove the Togotela? I was like, okay, guys, don't worry, I will remove it. But like when you are doing your username, you can only change it after 30 days. So I'm just waiting, Shame, for that 30 days to come so that I can then change the handle. Because so many people are like, just do the thingy, and then So yeah, guys, don't worry.
Yeah, because if you're rebranding, I think for all of us, I think people are curious to know what's going on now, and I think that's why you have a following instantly when you came back. But I think it would be a very important time for you to clarify exactly who you are to us, yabo.
Yes.
Because now we still believe what we read, what we saw, what we heard, and unfortunately, bad trends faster than good. So it doesn't matter how much you rebrand, especially if you still sticking to a part of the story that was the bad story, because that's not going to get you far in terms of business and whatnot. And I'm understanding you want to go back to business, but with that being said, what is the rebrand now? What is Matthew doing? Let's pretend we're in 2025. What is Matthew doing in 2025?
So in 2025, Matthew's gonna be more in terms of content. You're gonna really get to see Matthew the person and not that persona, and whatever life that persona was. So you're really gonna get to see who I am as a person, and also my aspiration as a person, particularly to my business, and how in places that I would love for my business to go, and also really me within the social media industry as well, trying to cement myself in that industry as well. So you're really going to get more of an interpersonal relationship with Matthew, the person. Because I feel like ultimately, the fact that I come back on social media, overnight I get 20,000, and people say, you know what, we actually loved the personality that is Matthew, because now and then we got to see outside of the scrubs, the status quo, we got to get to see that glimpse of your personality, and that is truly what we like, and they just want to see that authenticness of me, and I think that is really what I'm gonna bring this time around.
Have you gone to therapy so that you don't fall back into the trap of looking for? Because I understand what you mean when you're saying, you get hungry for social media approval and you end up doing things that you otherwise wouldn't ordinarily do.
Yeah.
You've fallen into the trap already, and it led to your life being dirmakar and turned upside down. Have you sought any form of professional help to make sure that you are not back there again?
So I am going through that right now with my family as well. So I am seeing a psychologist with regards to that. And I also think even with my family, because, this thing didn't just affect me only, but also, with my mom and family. So like we are all going through that, counseling and that psychosocial support. Yeah.
And were you dating when all of this was happening?
I was dating.
And then what happened? Tell us more.
Yes. No, I remember, guys, it happened, and my then partner, because people were DMing him saying, listen, distance yourself from everything, wara wara. So that got to him. And then like he broke up with me, and yeah, I've never spoken to him ever since then.
So are you currently dating or seeing someone now?
I'm in a new relationship. So I am.
You wena. How far? Abafana ba brave. You just came back from jail and so you're Jola. Oh, Palawana, you were in and out of prison and police and so you're Jola. We haven't even been to jail and it's Jola.
Some of us, we understand that we are very fast in jail.
But that's lovely that there's someone that is in your life, and I'm hoping you're getting the support that you need, because this is not going to be, I don't know what the plan is. That also, if you're doing a scam next year, because you're able to buy a car and a house with your other scam, if you're doing another scam next year, please call me.
We will go there together.
Apartment, just call me when you are starting.
Oh, so you want to be there at the beginning?
I want to be at the beginning. Oh, I also want to buy a car and an apartment. Oh, don't leave me out. But I'm hoping that you get the support that you need. And I really do hope that we get to see a different Matthew. And I don't know, I haven't really been on your account, but I'm
Yeah.
hoping that you've also given South Africa an apology, because I think you probably did have followers that really believed in you and believed in what you were
Yeah.
saying and believed in what you were doing. And I think those people might have felt a little bit betrayed. I know you actually know an apology in this case is owed, so that you move on with a clean slate. You know, you take accountability for whatever it is that happened. I know you've already been on a podcast. I wish you had not. I haven't watched it. I don't know what it's about, but I think I saw a glimpse. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I saw that you were on a podcast somewhere.
That's correct.
I don't know what podcast it was also, so I don't know what I'm talking about, but I think I saw. I think you. I'm hoping that you get to be true to yourself and you have the support that you need, because we are all waiting for you to pull another Dr. Matthew. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's going to be hard for anyone to believe you, but nothing is not fixable because you didn't really harm anyone. But I'm hoping, I can't wait to see what you do next year. I think we all just want to see what you're going to get up to and what you're going to do, and what you change into. And if you don't change, maybe you just want to be Dr. Matthew again. Go, that's fine by us. We just want to see how you're going to scam the department again. Babes, you scammed HPSA, you scammed department, you scammed SAPS, you scammed the hospital. You were literally on a payroll, when a parcel number. Oh, you need to teach us how to do that. I'm joking, don't do that. But otherwise, man, it was so nice speaking to you. And I can't wait to see what you do next year.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Really, I'm gonna take your advice. Absolutely, I'm gonna put it right
Good.
here. But I have one question for you though.
Yes.
Like your energy to deal with trolls, we tata p nami ungnike slice nje.
I don't. For me, I've always said this. Even if you watch previous podcasts, I don't do it for me. I do it for the next Dominique that's going to come. So, I said late. I've already experienced bullying. I've already experienced
Yeah.
not being able to use the bathroom. I've already experienced the harshness of society. And
Yeah.
for me, it is, if I can teach someone now how to just be respectful of people's differences, I'm teaching a parent of a child, then they're going to raise that child to be a better child than I am. So I'm really not doing it for me. So even when I don't have the energy, I do it because in my head, all I'm saying is there's going to be another Dominique. What can I do to make it a little bit better? Because you can't change homophobia, you can't change people hating you, you can't change those things. People are going to do what they want to do when they want to do it. But I'm hoping that even if there's one person that's going to say, I didn't know much about gay people, but since I followed you, I've learned a. Sorry, I hope I'm back.
Yeah, you back now.
Okay, cool. So there was a call that came in. So I'm just hoping that somewhere along the line of all this craziness and all of these things that's going on, someone gets to learn something and just be more lenient, even if it's not just gay people, but just people in general. And yeah, so half the time I don't have energy and I take breaks, hey. Like I was on a break now, I think for like 2 weeks. I took a break off social media because it was a lot. But yeah, I don't do it for me. I don't do anything for me. I'm just saying, for me, late, my story is already written. People have made the decisions they want to make about me. There's nothing more that I can do. But there's going to be another Dominique that just needs to get to a world that is a little bit kinder. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. You know, like I don't know which. I think it was a podcast, but I'm not sure which one was it. Where you were telling your story about your upbringing, and also like you are tremendously brave, and you're honestly tremendously strong. And you know, sometimes people with us me, oh my God, you know, like how are you able to still stand strong? And sometimes I'm like, you know what, when we have people that depend on us, we have no choice but to remain strong. You understand? And I know
Yeah.
with you, you had your mom, you had your siblings, so you just had to be strong and be this person that you are, because there are certain people that are really depending on you to be strong. But then don't you break down sometimes?
Oh, they're saying we must play a match while we
You're
talk.
gonna win either way. We can
Well, of course, I'm going to win. Wait,
you
doctor. Wait, doctor. Guys, then nithangidlala match. Ngicela sembithe uDr. Matthew. Simkhumbuza ukuthi how we felt.
So how is that?
I don't know what I'm saying. Let's just have fun. But yeah, you know what? Sometimes you don't have a choice but to just be strong. I think a lot of us suffer from that, and I think a lot of people that come to my lives, especially, are very similar or have very similar stories to myself, and I think that's why we connect online. People that just consume my content are different than the people that come and sit on my lives and we talk and we laugh like this and we do battles and we talk nonsense. I think there's a different level of understanding, and I think we have similarities in terms of struggle. But I don't have a choice but to be strong. I don't have a choice but to have things figured out. Like you said, I have siblings, I have a mom, I'm the only one working at home, da 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 da. So I don't think I'm strong. I just feel like I'm doing what I have to do. Yeah.
And you are honestly doing it so amazingly. Like you're absolutely.
Yeah, Matthew. Where are you now, Matthew? Are you still in Gauteng?
I am still in Gauteng.
Go high.
Randburg, Krista.
Oh, those walls are not from Krista. Why are you lying? What? Oh, that wall. That wall.
I'm telling you, I am literally in Krista. Do you know Krista?
Yes.
Where are you?
I'm like 3 minutes from Krista Mall.
Which direction? Because up there it's gonna be like your Fairlands, your
Honeydew.
Honeydew. Okay.
Yeah.
But you know one thing that I absolutely, like within the entertainment industry, I feel like with you, your story is very relatable, especially for us as queer people. Yes, we have your surmises and everything, but I feel like now the way you have really put yourself out there with your truth, with your story, it's so I understand how you inspire so many, and I absolutely love it for you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I really do.
And for me, I always say that, like me, people always ask me what's your coming out story. I'm like, I don't have a coming out story. I had to, sit down. Oh, Dominic. Wait, I won. Who won? Who won between me and Dominic? Oh, Dominic won. But yeah, guys, let's see. Okay, she's gonna come back. Okay, guys, wait, I'm getting a call. Please hold on.